Ryan had never expected that a transfer to Vera 9, a distant frontier planet on the edge of human space, would change his life so much. The planet's twin suns painted the skies in gold and violet each morning, and the forests glowed faintly in shades of green and blue at night. Ryan, a human engineer trained in ship repairs and environmental systems, had come here to help establish a trade hub for interstellar commerce. At first, he felt alone. The settlements were small, mostly built from metal alloys and reinforced glass, and the few humans stationed here were busy with their work. Ryan often found himself walking among the forests, marveling at the alien flora. Some trees hummed softly with energy, while plants emitted light from veins running along their leaves. It was beautiful, but lonely. That changed when he met Talon. Talon was an Orithian, one of the native intelligent species of Vera 9. The Orithians had greenish skin with a smooth texture that glimmered under sunlight. Their eyes glowed faintly, like liquid light, and their movements were fluid, almost musical. Ryan first saw Talon when the alien arrived at the trade hub to negotiate a shipment of biotech components. "Hello, I am Talon," the alien said, bowing slightly. His voice carried a soft resonance that Ryan found calming. "I'm Ryan," he replied, unsure how to respond to an alien formal greeting. "I work here as an engineer." Talon smiled, though the Orithian expression was slightly different from human smiles. It was gentle, warm, and Ryan felt instantly that the alien meant no harm. Over the next few weeks, Ryan and Talon spent time together. At first, their conversations were about work, ship repairs, trade schedules, and the complex technology that the Orithians brought from their cities deep in the glowing forests. But soon they shared stories about their lives. Ryan told Talon about Earth, the oceans, mountains, and human cities. Talon spoke of Orithian traditions, their festivals, and the songs they sang during the nights when the moons of Vera 9 reflected silver light on the lakes. Ryan learned that Talon had a wife named Mira, who was wise and calm. She worked as a cultural archivist among the Orithians, preserving their history and inventions. Talon often mentioned her with a soft pride in his voice. "Mira knows the ways of our people better than anyone," he told Ryan once. "She can read the songs of the forests and understand the machines of the old ones." Curiosity turned into friendship. Talon had a quiet sense of humor that Ryan enjoyed. He also had a natural skill for teaching. One day, Talon showed Ryan a device that could store energy from the glowing plants and convert it into a stable power source. Ryan, fascinated, asked how it worked, and Talon patiently explained each mechanism. Together, they improved the device, combining human engineering with Orithian energy technology. It was during these long working sessions that Ryan began to feel something he had never experienced before. He felt truly understood. Talon never judged his mistakes or laughed at his lack of knowledge. Instead, he encouraged him and shared insights from his culture that made Ryan see things differently. One evening, Talon invited Ryan to his home. Ryan had never been inside an Orithian house before. The structure looked like it had grown from the forest itself. Smooth, curved walls rose from the ground as if shaped by nature. Inside, the air smelled faintly of herbs and minerals, and soft bioluminescent lights illuminated the space. Mira greeted him politely. Her greenish skin glowed faintly under the light, and her eyes carried warmth and intelligence. "Welcome, Ryan," she said. "Talon has spoken highly of your work." Ryan felt awkward at first. He did not know how to interact with her without offending some cultural rule, but Mira smiled, and the tension melted away. They spent the evening sharing stories. Mira spoke of the Orithian history, how her people survived the harsh forests of Vera 9, and how they learned to use the natural energy around them. She also asked Ryan about his life on Earth, listening with genuine curiosity. Ryan felt respected, not like a visitor but like someone who belonged there even if temporarily. From that day, the three of them often spent time together. They explored the glowing forests, gathered rare minerals for trade, and shared meals of Orithian and human food. Talon's gentle presence and Mira's quiet intelligence made Ryan feel a sense of belonging he had never experienced. One particular evening, the three of them climbed a hill near the settlement to watch the twin suns set. The sky turned shades of deep purple and gold, and the forest below shimmered with soft light. Talon placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder. "This is the moment I always cherish," he said. "The world feels alive and I feel at peace." Ryan nodded. "It's beautiful," he replied. He realized he had never felt this calm in his life. The stress of his work, the worries about being alone, all faded. Here, with Talon and Mira, he felt part of something bigger. Mira smiled at him. "We all find our peace differently," she said softly. "Some through work, some through nature, some through friendship." Ryan looked at her and then at Talon. He understood the bond they shared was rare, something that went beyond friendship or duty. It was mutual respect, trust, and care that tied them together. Over time, Ryan noticed small gestures that showed Talon's affection for Mira and his trust in Ryan. Talon would often step back during conversations, letting Mira lead. He also shared personal stories with Ryan, secrets about his life, and hopes for the future. Ryan, in turn, began to feel a responsibility for their friendship, knowing that Talon trusted him more than anyone else. One day, while repairing an energy converter in the hub, Talon asked Ryan to join him on a special trip to gather rare luminous crystals from a cavern deep in the forest. The journey was dangerous, requiring climbing, careful navigation, and handling energy-sensitive materials. Ryan accepted eagerly. During the trek, Talon taught Ryan how to move with the forest, how to read the energy of plants, and how to avoid natural hazards. They laughed at mistakes, helped each other when slipping on moss-covered rocks, and marveled at the glowing crystals embedded in the cavern walls. At the end of the day, tired but happy, they sat outside the cavern under the twin moons. Talon handed Ryan a crystal. "This is for you," he said. "A reminder that friendship is stronger than distance, species, or challenge." Ryan held the crystal, feeling its warmth and glow. "Thank you," he said. "I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything," Talon replied. "Your actions, your respect, your friendship, that is enough." That night, as Ryan walked back to his quarters, he thought about Talon and Mira. He realized that he had found something extraordinary on Vera 9. Not only had he made an alien friend, but he had also witnessed a relationship of deep respect, love, and trust. It was a bond he wanted to honor, no matter what the future held. The frontier planet, once lonely and strange, now felt like home. The glowing forests, the twin suns, and the gentle hum of alien energy had become a part of his life. And most importantly, he had found a friend in Talon, someone who could see him as an equal, and a companion in Mira, whose wisdom and kindness made every moment brighter. Ryan did not know what challenges lay ahead, but he knew one thing clearly. He would not abandon the friendship he had found here. Whatever the future held, he would face it with Talon and Mira by his side. As he drifted to sleep that night, he held the luminous crystal Talon had given him. Its soft glow reminded him that even in the vastness of space, connection was possible. Bonds could form between different worlds, between species, and between hearts willing to understand each other. Ryan smiled, feeling hope, curiosity, and a strange excitement for the days to come. Life on Vera 9 was just beginning, and he was no longer alone. The morning on Vera 9 began with a soft violet light, the twin suns rising slowly over the horizon. Ryan had planned to meet Talon in the hub to continue their work on the energy converters. But when he arrived at Talon's home, he noticed something unusual. The normally lively Erythian moved slowly, his greenish skin duller than usual and his luminous eyes seemed dimmed. "Talon, are you feeling well?" Ryan asked, concern in his voice. Talon tried to smile. "I am fine, Ryan, just a little tired." Ryan frowned. Talon had always been full of energy. Even after long hours working on machines, he never appeared exhausted. Something was wrong. Over the next few days, Talon's condition worsened. He began coughing faintly, and small patches of his skin lost their glow. Ryan, alarmed, ran tests using human medical equipment, but the results were confusing. Talon's vital signs were unlike anything Ryan had studied. The disease affecting him seemed unique to Erythians and advanced beyond human understanding. "I do not understand it," Ryan admitted one evening. "I have never seen anything like this. We need to call for medical support from the colony." Talon shook his head gently. "There is no time. The treatment they can send may arrive too late. My body is failing." Ryan felt a heavy weight in his chest. He had faced dangerous machinery failures, storms, and even alien wildlife, but this was different. This was personal. This was his friend dying before his eyes. Mira stayed beside Talon constantly, her soft hands brushing over his arms in quiet comfort. She had always been calm, but now worry shadowed her glowing eyes. "Ryan," she said softly, "we must accept what may come. Talon knows the forest and its life better than anyone. He knows his limits." Ryan shook his head. "I cannot accept it. There has to be a way. There has to be something I can do." Talon reached out and placed a hand on Ryan's. "Ryan, you have already done much for me. You have brought knowledge, friendship, and joy. Now I must ask one more thing." Ryan leaned in. "Anything, Talon. Name it and I will do it." Talon's glowing eyes looked deeply at Ryan. "I want you to take care of Mira. After I am gone, she will need protection and support. She is wise and capable, but she is accustomed to my guidance. I entrust her to you." Ryan froze. His mind raced. "Take care of her? Talon, I don't know if I can do that. I am just human. I cannot replace you." "You do not need to replace me," Talon replied softly. "I ask only that you be a friend to her, that you respect her, and that you help her continue our work." "That is enough." Ryan felt tears threaten to spill. He had never been responsible for anyone like this before, but he knew Talon was serious. The trust his friend placed in him was immense. Over the next days, Ryan did everything he could to help Talon feel comfortable. He repaired machines in the home, brought fresh water and food, and tried to soothe the constant aches Talon endured. Mira watched him quietly, her eyes sometimes reflecting relief, sometimes concern. One night, as the twin moons cast silver light over the forest, Talon called Rian and Mira to his side. He looked weaker than ever, his body trembling. "I have little time," he whispered. "There is one thing I want to show you both." He led them to a hidden room beneath their home. The walls glowed faintly with stored energy, and shelves lined with crystals, documents, and devices filled the space. "These are my possessions," Talon said. "Some are practical, some are inventions, and some are memories. I leave them to you, Rian. Use them wisely." Ryan stepped closer, carefully examining the devices. Each one was extraordinary, blending Erythian and human technology in ways he had never seen. "Talon, I cannot accept all this," he said softly. "It is too much responsibility." Talon smiled faintly. "It is not for you alone. It is for Mira as well. Together you can continue our work. And most importantly, care for each other. My life has been full, but I wish it to continue through you." Rian looked at Mira, who nodded silently. There was understanding in her eyes. She trusted Talon's decision, and somehow she trusted Rian as well. The next morning, Talon's condition became critical. His breathing was shallow, and his glow had nearly vanished. Ryan held his friend's hand, refusing to leave his side. Mira sat beside him, gently touching Talon's arm. "Ryan," Talon whispered, "promise me you will protect Mira, guide her, and continue what we have begun. Our friendship, our work, it can live beyond me." "I promise," Ryan said, his voice trembling. "I swear it, Talon, I will not fail you." Talon closed his eyes, a faint smile on his lips. The light in his eyes dimmed completely, and the room fell silent. Ryan felt a hollow ache in his chest, unlike any pain he had felt before. Mira leaned against him, her grief quiet but deep. For hours they sat together, holding Talon's hands. Finally Mira spoke. "He trusted us. Now it is our turn. We cannot let him down." Ryan nodded, determination rising within him. He had lost a friend, but he would honor Talon's last wishes. He would take responsibility, protect Mira, and continue Talon's work. It was the only way to show respect for the life and friendship they had shared. In the days that followed, Rian helped Mira sort through Talon's belongings. There were devices for energy conversion, tools for exploration, and personal journals detailing Erythian life. Ryan learned more about the Erythian culture, Talon's inventions, and the subtle wisdom the alien had accumulated over his life. Mira, too, began to rely on Ryan, not as a replacement for Talon, but as a partner in the work they had begun together. They organized trade shipments, repaired equipment, and planned for future projects. Each day, the weight of Talon's trust reminded Ryan of his duty, but it also inspired him. One evening, while examining a map of Vera 9's glowing forests, Mira spoke softly. Talon believed that understanding each other, humans and Orithians, is the key to progress. He would want us to continue that vision. Ryan nodded. He trusted us not just with his life, but with his dream. I will make sure it survives. As they worked together, a subtle bond began to form. It was not the same as friendship with Talon, but it was built on mutual respect, shared grief, and a shared purpose. Ryan realized that Mira was not only capable but wise, and together, they could honor Talon's legacy. The frontier settlement began to notice their efforts. Humans and Orithians alike saw Ryan taking responsibility with diligence and care, while Mira's leadership and intelligence guided many projects. They became a team, trusted by both species, and slowly, the void left by Talon's passing began to feel less overwhelming. Yet Ryan knew grief would not vanish. Every corner of their home reminded him of Talon, his laughter, his stories, his quiet wisdom. Sometimes Ryan would sit in the glowing forest alone, holding one of the crystals Talon had given him. It was a small piece of his friend, a reminder that Talon's life and spirit would continue to influence their world. Mira, too, found solace in their shared memories. She spoke of Talon often, recounting stories that made them both laugh or marvel. Ryan listened, learning more about his friend with each tale, feeling the bond they had shared deepen even after death. Despite the sorrow, Ryan felt a spark of hope. Talon had left them a chance to continue his work, to build something meaningful, and to strengthen the connection between humans and Orithians. The responsibility was heavy, but it was also a gift, a chance to honor a friendship that transcended species and worlds. One night, as the twin moons rose over the glowing forests, Ryan looked at Mira. "We can do this together," he said quietly. "For Talon, for us, for everyone who believes in his vision." Mira nodded, her eyes reflecting the soft silver light. "Yes, together we will make sure his dreams live on." And in that moment, Ryan felt a deep sense of purpose. The loss of Talon was immense, but the trust and love he left behind were stronger. It was a reminder that friendship, responsibility, and courage could survive even the greatest tragedy. The frontier planet no longer felt lonely. In the shadow of grief, Ryan and Mira found hope, strength, and the beginning of a partnership that could change their world forever. The days following Talon's passing were heavy and quiet. The once lively home of the Orithians felt empty, and even the glowing forest seemed dimmer without Talon's presence. Ryan spent long hours repairing devices, organizing Talon's notes, and ensuring the trade hub ran smoothly. The weight of responsibility was immense, but he reminded himself daily of his promise to Talon. Mira observed him carefully. She had been quiet since Talon's death, moving through the house with measured steps, her mind clearly processing loss while also planning for the future. Ryan noticed her hesitation whenever he tried to speak to her, unsure how to approach the woman who had lost her life partner. One morning, Ryan found Mira in the laboratory, examining a device Talon had been working on. The energy crystal inside pulsed faintly and she adjusted it with precision. "Ryan," she said softly, "this device is capable of storing energy from multiple sources at once. Talon had plans for it, but he never finished the calibration." "I can try," Ryan replied. He had studied every note, every device, but the complexity of Orithian technology challenged him. He worked alongside Mira, learning from her careful adjustments and observations. The atmosphere between them was quiet but respectful. Neither spoke of replacing Talon, and both understood that their shared mission was about continuation, not substitution. As the days passed, Ryan noticed that Mira was gradually opening up. She began asking for his advice on trade negotiations, engineering problems, and logistics for their small settlement. Ryan, in turn, shared human techniques for energy optimization and structural improvements. Together they formed a rhythm, blending human ingenuity with Orithian wisdom. One afternoon, while they were reviewing energy conversion maps for the settlement, Mira spoke. "Talon always believed that humans and Orithians could achieve more together. I think he would want us to explore that further." Ryan nodded. "He trusted us, Mira. It is up to us to honor him not just in work but in vision. We can build something meaningful, something that lasts." Their first major challenge came when a shipment of bioenergy crystals was delayed. The crystals were essential for powering the trade hub and the neighboring settlements. Without them, the colony could face serious energy shortages. Rian and Mira traveled to the docking bay to investigate. The transporter logs showed that the shipment had been intercepted by a rogue trader from another system. Ryan clenched his fists. He had faced mechanical failures before, but this was different. This was about survival, and it required negotiation, courage, and strategy. Mira placed a hand on his arm. "We can handle this. Together we will retrieve what Talon would have wanted us to protect." They worked quickly. Ryan used his engineering knowledge to track the energy crystal's path through the docking network, while Mira reached out to Erythian contacts, negotiating discreetly with traders and officials. Their teamwork was seamless. Ryan admired her intelligence and calm determination, while Mira learned to trust his judgment and problem-solving skills. After days of effort, they located the crystals. A tense negotiation ensued with the rogue trader, who underestimated their combined resolve. Mira's diplomacy and Rian's logical strategies convinced the trader to return the crystals. Their success brought relief, but also a growing sense of confidence. They realized that, despite the grief, they were capable of carrying Talon's legacy forward. As the weeks passed, Ryan and Mira continued to grow closer, though always within the bounds of respect. They shared meals, discussed work, and occasionally laughed at small mistakes made during experiments. Their friendship became the foundation of their partnership, each learning to rely on the other. One evening, after completing a successful shipment delivery, Mira asked Rian to walk with her through the glowing forest. The air was filled with the soft hum of energy from the plants, and the light shimmered on their skin. "Ryan," she began, "I have been thinking about Talon's vision. He believed that knowledge should be shared, that humans and Orythians could learn from each other. I think it is time we make that vision real." Ryan smiled. "I agree. We can start small. Teach humans some of your techniques and you can learn ours. Together, we can improve the lives of everyone on Vera 9. Their conversation sparked a series of initiatives. They began offering workshops to humans and Orythians alike, teaching energy optimization, trade strategies, and basic Erythian technology. The response was enthusiastic. Both species realized that collaboration brought benefits far greater than competition. Ryan and Mira became symbols of Talon's dream realized, a living reminder that unity could overcome boundaries. Despite their success, Rian sometimes felt the weight of solitude. Talon's absence was a constant shadow. Late at night, he would sit by the crystal Talon had gifted him, feeling the faint warmth and light. It reminded him of his friend's guidance, of the trust placed in him, and of the responsibility he now carried. Mira, too, found solace in small rituals. She would speak softly to Talon's memory, recounting lessons he had taught her, and sharing them with Ryan when appropriate. Their grief was mutual, but it also became a source of motivation, reminding them why their work mattered. One day, Rian discovered a hidden chamber within Talon's home. It contained partially completed inventions and notes on projects Talon had hoped to finish. Among them was a device capable of harvesting ambient energy from the forest more efficiently than any other known technology. Ryan immediately thought of the potential to improve the colony's power grid. He called Mira to the chamber. "Look at this," he said, pointing to the device. "If we can finish this, it could transform energy production on Vera 9. Mira examined the notes carefully. Talon was ahead of his time. "If we can combine your engineering with my understanding of Orythian energy systems, we can complete it." This will be a fitting tribute to him. For weeks, they worked tirelessly, experimenting, adjusting, and learning from one another. Mistakes were frequent, but each failure became a lesson. Ryan appreciated Mira's calm approach while she admired his creativity and determination. Together, they formed a partnership stronger than either could have imagined. Through their work, Ryan began to understand Talon's wisdom on a deeper level. His friend had seen beyond species differences, beyond personal ambition. Talon had believed in the potential of collaboration, in the power of trust and friendship, and in the responsibility each individual had to support others. One evening, after successfully completing the first version of the energy device, Mira looked at Ryan. "We did it," she said softly. We brought one of Talon's dreams to life. Ryan smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Yes, and this is just the beginning. There is more to do, more to learn, and more people to help. Talon would be proud. Their partnership became known throughout the settlement. Humans and Erythians alike admired their dedication and skill. People began to seek their guidance, whether it was for energy systems, trade planning, or simply understanding the unique cultures of each species. Ryan realized that the work he was doing was far more meaningful than he had ever imagined. Even as their lives filled with purpose, Ryan and Mira continued to honor Talon's memory. They spoke of him often, remembering his lessons, his humor, and his gentle wisdom. Their friendship became a living tribute, showing that even in loss, life could carry forward with hope, determination, and care. Through the challenges and responsibilities, Ryan learned an important lesson. Friendship, trust, and respect could create bonds stronger than grief. Talon's passing had left a void, but it had also created an opportunity, a chance to build something lasting, to honor his life, and to continue his vision for unity between humans and Erythians. The frontier planet no longer felt lonely. Ryan and Mira had found strength in each other, purpose in their work, and hope for the future. Together they would face the challenges ahead, guided by the memory of a friend whose trust had changed their lives forever. And so Ryan's life on Vera 9 began to take a new shape. The loneliness of the past was replaced with responsibility, friendship, and determination. Each day brought new tasks, new discoveries, and new opportunities to honor Talon. The work was never easy, but it was meaningful. Ryan realized that this was what Talon had hoped for, not just survival, but growth. Not just friendship, but legacy. And as he watched Mira work alongside him, sharing ideas and guidance, he understood that together they could achieve more than either could alone. The glowing forests outside their home seemed brighter now, reflecting the energy of life, hope, and unity. Ryan felt a sense of belonging stronger than ever. Though Talon was gone, his spirit remained alive in their work, in their friendship, and in the potential of a better future for Vera 9. And in that moment, Ryan knew one thing with certainty. He would honor his friend's trust, protect Mira, and continue Talon's vision. No challenge was too great, no obstacle too daunting. Together, they would build a future worthy of the life and friendship that had been entrusted to them. Life on Vera 9 had begun to stabilize for Ryan and Mira. Together they managed the trade hub, maintained Talon's energy devices, and taught humans and Erythians how to work together. The glowing forest had become a symbol of hope, reflecting the unity that Talon had envisioned. But the frontier world had more challenges ahead. One morning, while inspecting a shipment of energy crystals, Ryan noticed a problem. Some crates had been tampered with. The delicate crystals inside were slightly damaged, enough to reduce their efficiency. His heart sank. This was no accident. Someone was trying to undermine their work. Mira arrived, her eyes sharp as she examined the crates. "It is deliberate," she said calmly. "Someone wants to disrupt the progress we have made." Ryan clenched his fists. "We cannot let them succeed. Talon trusted us with this community, and we cannot fail him." They immediately set out to investigate. Using tracking devices from Talon's hidden collection and Ryan's engineering skills, they traced the tampered shipment to a rival trader. This trader resented the success of humans and Erythians working together and sought to create conflict between the species. Ryan and Mira approached the trader cautiously. He was surprised to see them, expecting hesitation. Instead, he found determination. Ryan explained the importance of cooperation, of the work they were doing to ensure survival and prosperity on Vera 9. Mira added her voice, calmly outlining how unity benefited everyone, including him. At first, the trader resisted, trying to argue his selfish motives, but Ryan and Mira remained firm, presenting evidence of the losses he would face if the conflict continued. Slowly, he began to listen. By the end of the discussion, he agreed to return the remaining crates and to cooperate with the hub. It was a small victory, but it strengthened Ryan and Mira's confidence. In the following weeks, they faced additional challenges. Supplies from neighboring settlements were delayed due to storms. Energy systems required upgrades, and trade negotiations became more complex. Ryan often worked through the night, repairing devices, recalibrating energy converters, and ensuring the settlement remained stable. Mira coordinated with other leaders, making careful decisions that balanced human and Orithian interests. Through these trials, their partnership grew stronger. They complemented each other perfectly. Ryan's creativity and technical skills solved practical problems, while Mira's intelligence and diplomacy guided long-term strategy. Each challenge they overcame was a tribute to Talon, and a reminder that his vision could thrive beyond his life. One day, Ryan discovered a hidden part of Talon's laboratory he had not noticed before. It contained an unfinished invention, a device designed to extract energy from the forest in a way that was completely safe and sustainable. Ryan immediately thought of how it could help the settlement expand. He called Mira. "Look at this," he said, pointing to the device. "If we complete it, it could provide unlimited clean energy to the hub and the neighboring communities." Mira studied the notes carefully. "Talon left detailed instructions," she said. "We just need to combine our knowledge. It will take work, but it is possible." Over the next several weeks, they dedicated themselves to finishing Talon's invention. Mistakes were frequent, but each failure taught them something new. Ryan learned to adjust Orithian technology with human precision, while Mira refined the process with careful observation. Their teamwork became seamless. During long nights in the lab, they shared stories about Talon, remembering his humor, his wisdom, and his patience. These memories motivated them. The grief that lingered in the background transformed into determination, pushing them to succeed. Finally, after many trials, they activated the device. A gentle hum filled the laboratory, and a soft glow spread through the energy conduits. The invention worked perfectly, converting ambient energy from the forest into stable power for the hub. Ryan and Mira looked at each other, pride and relief shining in their eyes. "We did it," Mira said softly. "This is what Talon would have wanted." Ryan nodded. "Yes, and this is just the beginning. We can do more. Help more people, build more systems that benefit everyone." Their success attracted attention from the wider settlement. Humans and Orithians came to see the invention, learning from it and offering ideas to improve it further. Ryan and Mira began teaching others how to replicate the technology safely, spreading the benefits of Talon's vision. Even as they achieved these successes, external threats continued. Other traders and opportunists saw the settlement's progress and wanted to claim it for themselves. Ryan and Mira had to be vigilant, using strategy, diplomacy, and occasional courage to protect their community. One afternoon, a group of traders arrived at the hub, claiming ownership of certain resources. Ryan and Mira met them in the negotiation hall, presenting evidence of their lawful work and explaining the benefits of cooperation. Mira's calm reasoning and Ryan's technical demonstrations convinced most of the traders, though a few remained skeptical. They realized that maintaining the community required more than technology. It required leadership, trust, and consistent effort. Ryan stepped up, taking responsibility for technical decisions, while Mira focused on diplomacy and planning. Together, they created a system that balanced efficiency with fairness. Over time, the settlement began to flourish. Energy production increased, trade improved, and relationships between humans and Orithians strengthened. People looked to Ryan and Mira as leaders, not because of authority, but because of dedication, skill, and integrity. They embodied the values Talon had cherished: trust, friendship, and the belief that humanity could rise by helping others and working together. Ryan sometimes reflected on how far they had come. When he first arrived on Vera 9, he had felt isolated and uncertain. Now he was part of a growing community, working alongside Mira to create a future that bridged species, cultures, and worlds. He understood that responsibility was not a burden but a chance to make a difference. Mira, too, felt the growth. She had learned to trust humans more fully, to accept that collaboration could produce results greater than what either species could achieve alone. She admired Ryan's dedication and patience, and their mutual respect formed the foundation for their ongoing partnership. One night, as they stood together on a hill overlooking the glowing forests, Ryan spoke. "Do you remember the first time Talon brought me here? We sat under the twin moons and he talked about how life could be better if we worked together." Mira smiled faintly. "Yes, he had faith in us even before we were ready. We are learning, Ryan. Slowly we are learning to live up to his trust." Ryan looked at the glowing forest below. "It feels different now. Less lonely, more alive." We are building something real. Talon would be proud, Mira nodded. We must continue. There will always be challenges, but together, we can face them. And so their work continued. Every challenge was met with determination. Every problem approached with creativity and cooperation. The legacy of Talon lived on not only in their memories but in every project they completed, every life they touched, and every bond they strengthened between humans and Orithians. Rian realized that growth came not from comfort, but from overcoming obstacles. The frontier planet, once a place of loneliness and uncertainty, had become a proving ground for courage, intelligence, and unity. He had learned that leadership was not about power, but about service, responsibility, and the willingness to act for the good of others. Mira felt the same. She understood that Talon's legacy was not just the technology or the trade systems he left behind, but the values he embodied. By working with Rian, teaching others and protecting the community, she ensured that his spirit remained alive and influential. The glowing forests outside their home seemed brighter than ever. Energy flowed steadily from their devices. Trade networks thrived, and humans and Orithians worked side by side. Ryan and Mira had faced external threats, technical failures, and skepticism, but they had prevailed. The success was more than practical. It was symbolic. It showed that cooperation, trust, and dedication could overcome grief, obstacles, and doubt. It was a reminder that humanity and the Orithians could achieve great things together, inspired by the life of a single remarkable friend. As the twin moons rose over the horizon, Rian and Mira stood quietly, reflecting on how far they had come. They had grown not only in skill but in understanding, empathy, and courage. The challenges they faced had tested them, but they had emerged stronger. Rian placed a hand on Mira's shoulder. Talon trusted us. He believed we could carry his vision forward. I think we are doing it, Mira. Mira smiled softly. Yes, Ryan. Together we are making sure his dreams live on, and in doing so we are creating our own path, stronger because of what we have learned. The frontier planet of Vera 9 continued to hum with life. The glowing forests, the settlements, and the trade networks were all a testament to what could be achieved when humans and Orithians worked together. Ryan and Mira's partnership had grown into something remarkable. It was not just about survival anymore. It was about progress, hope, and the enduring power of friendship. And in the quiet moments, when the lights of the forest reflected on their skin, Ryan and Mira both knew that Talon's legacy was safe, alive and growing stronger with each passing day. The sun rose slowly over Vera 9, casting golden light across the glowing forests. Ryan stood on a balcony overlooking the settlement, his hands resting on the railing as he watched the activity below. Humans and Orithians moved together seamlessly, carrying supplies, repairing energy devices, and exchanging ideas. The hub had become a center of innovation and cooperation. Rian felt a quiet pride. Months ago, he had been overwhelmed with grief after Talon's death, unsure how to honor his friend's trust. Now he could see the results of their efforts. Talon's legacy was alive, thriving, and shaping the future of Vera 9. Mira joined him quietly, placing a hand on his shoulder. The forest looks brighter today, she said softly. It does, Ryan agreed. It feels like everything is finally in balance. The community is strong. People are learning, cooperating, and growing. We are building something Talon would have been proud of. Mira smiled, her greenish eyes reflecting the sunlight. And it is not just the technology or the trade. It is the trust, the respect, and the unity we are creating. Talon would have wanted that more than anything. Ryan nodded. He remembered the day Talon had entrusted him with Mira's care, the immense responsibility that had felt almost impossible. But through every challenge, Rian had discovered a strength he did not know he possessed. The grief that had once threatened to overwhelm him had transformed into purpose and determination. Their next task was ambitious. Talon had left notes for an interspecies education program, designed to teach humans and Orithians to work together on larger projects. The idea was to combine human ingenuity with Orithian energy technology to solve complex problems and improve life across the planet. Ryan and Mira dedicated themselves to the program. They organized classes, workshops, and demonstration projects. Humans learned to operate Orithian energy devices, while Orithians studied human engineering techniques. The two species shared ideas freely, discovering that collaboration produced results far greater than individual effort. One day, while demonstrating a new energy converter to a group of students, Ryan noticed a small human child struggling to understand the process. He knelt beside her, patiently explaining each step, adjusting the device to show her how it worked. Mira watched from nearby, offering encouragement. The child's face lit up as the device activated successfully, filling the lab with a soft glow. "This is why Talon believed in sharing knowledge," Mira said softly when Ryan returned. "It is not just about inventions or trade. It is about helping each other grow," Ryan smiled. "He trusted us to carry that vision forward. And we are." As the weeks passed, the education program expanded. Settlements across Vera 9 sent representatives to learn, and both humans and Orithians began applying the knowledge to improve their own communities. The settlement became a model of cooperation, admired for its efficiency, fairness, and innovation. Despite their growing success, challenges remained. External traders occasionally tried to disrupt operations, storms threatened shipments, and some older Orithians were hesitant to embrace new methods. Ryan and Mira met each challenge with calm determination. Ryan's technical skill and problem-solving ensured stability, while Mira's diplomacy and planning smoothed conflicts and encouraged participation. Their partnership became stronger every day. They shared ideas freely, celebrated successes together, and supported each other through setbacks. Their bond was not romantic, but it was deep and enduring, a reflection of the trust Talon had placed in both of them. One afternoon, Mira invited Ryan to explore a hidden section of the forest. There they discovered a cluster of glowing crystals that Talon had marked in his notes as an energy source for future projects. Ryan examined them carefully. "These could power multiple settlements if we build a proper system," he said. Mira nodded. "We can expand our program. Teach others to use it safely." Talon wanted resources to be shared, not hoarded. This is another way to honor him. Together, they designed a plan to distribute the energy safely and efficiently. They trained humans and Orithians to operate the system, ensuring it would be maintained responsibly. The forest itself seemed to respond, its natural glow amplified by the careful energy network. Ryan felt a sense of wonder. The glowing forests, once a strange alien landscape, now symbolized hope, cooperation, and the power of friendship. Talon's vision had become real through their efforts, and every light in the forest reminded Ryan of the trust and guidance of his departed friend. One evening, after a long day of work, Ryan and Mira sat on a hill overlooking the settlement. The twin moons reflected silver light on the forests below, and the hum of energy devices filled the air. "We have done more than I ever imagined," Ryan said quietly. "The settlement is thriving, knowledge is spreading, and humans and Orithians are working together." "It feels like Talon is still guiding us," Mira smiled. "He is. In every device, every lesson, every act of cooperation, his spirit is here, and now it is up to us to keep it alive, to expand it, to protect it." Ryan nodded. "I promise, Mira, we will not let his vision fade. We will continue his work together." As the moons rose higher, they watched the settlement glow with life and energy. Children ran between humans and Orithians, exchanging laughter and ideas. Traders shared goods freely, guided by lessons learned from Ryan and Mira. Machines hummed steadily, converting ambient energy into light, warmth, and power for the community. It was a living tribute to Talon, proof that his belief in collaboration and trust could shape the future. Ryan realized that even in the face of loss, life could carry forward in meaningful ways. The grief he had felt had transformed into determination. His friendship with Mira had grown into partnership, and together they had built something lasting. One day, as they inspected a new energy network connecting distant settlements, Ryan paused. "Look at what we have built," he said. "Humans and Orithians working side by side. Talon's dream has become more than a dream. It is real." Mira placed a hand on his arm. "And it will continue to grow. We have only begun. The more people we teach, the more communities we strengthen. This is how we honor him." The frontier planet, once distant and lonely, had become a hub of hope, progress, and cooperation. The glowing forests, the settlements, and the hub itself symbolized the power of unity and the enduring strength of friendship. Ryan understood that Talon's gift was more than possessions or inventions. It was trust, responsibility, and the vision to see beyond differences to create a better future. In quiet moments, Ryan would hold the luminous crystal Talon had given him, feeling its warmth and glow. It reminded him that even when a friend was gone, their influence could shape lives, inspire action, and guide decisions. Talon's life had left a mark, not just on him but on everyone who now benefited from the work he had begun. Mira, too, reflected on the journey they had shared. She had faced loss, uncertainty, and fear, but through cooperation with Ryan she had found strength and purpose. Together they were creating a world where humans and Orithians could thrive, a world that Talon would have been proud to see. As the twin moons slowly sank below the horizon, Ryan and Mira stood together in silence, looking at the glowing forests and the settlement they had nurtured. The lights reflected hope, determination, and the promise of a future built on trust and collaboration. Ryan spoke softly, more to himself than to Mira. Talon believed in us. We have honored him and we will continue to do so. This is only the beginning. Mira placed her hand on his shoulder again, and with each step we carry his legacy forward. Together, we will make sure it lasts for generations. The frontier planet, alive with energy and cooperation, seemed to acknowledge their resolve. The hum of devices, the laughter of children, and the harmony of humans and Orithians echoed through the glowing forests. Ryan felt a deep sense of peace. He knew that life would continue to bring challenges, but now he understood that grief and loss could be transformed into purpose. The memory of a friend could inspire growth, courage, and unity. And in that moment, Ryan realized that Talon's greatest gift had not been the devices, the crystals, or even the possessions he left behind. It was the belief that friendship, trust, and cooperation could shape the future, and that humanity could rise to meet any challenge when it acted with honor and courage. And so, under the twin moons of Vera 9, Ryan and Mira stood together, guardians of a legacy that had begun with a simple act of trust and friendship. The settlement thrived, the forests glowed, and life moved forward with hope, strength, and unity. Talon's vision lived on, and in carrying it, Ryan and Mira discovered the true meaning of responsibility, courage, and the power of humanity and friendship across worlds. The frontier planet had become a beacon of what could be achieved when hearts worked together, when knowledge was shared, and when the memory of a friend inspired action. Ryan knew that they had only just begun, but with Mira by his side he felt ready for anything. Together, they would honor the past, embrace the present, and build a future that shone as brightly as the glowing forests beneath the twin moons.